Good morning, and welcome to the most celebratory day of the Dickinson year. Today, as those of you who were at Baccalaureate yesterday will know, is a day of limestone weather, meaning the color of the sky is the same as the color of our stone, and this is a very good omen for Dickinsonians and perfect for commencement. You'll be happy to note that the part of the script that says, if graduation is in the Klein, I've crossed out. Today marks a very special day as we gather as a community of faculty, staff, honored guests, families, and friends to celebrate the 530 members of the class of 2017. Today is a rite of passage for each of you. I'm honored to share this day with you as interim president. While I knew some of you from my provost days, one of the highlights of the past year has been getting to know many more of you. Your passions, your talents, your issues, your aspirations for yourself and for the college. While we like to think that all classes at Dickinson are special, know that for this interim president, the class of 2017 is a bit more special. I know that you're here today because of the love, support, and guidance that you've received from many people in your lives. I imagine that several of those important people are joining you on campus today. In order to properly acknowledge their support throughout your lives, would the parents, step-parents, guardians, grandparents, siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, other relatives, and friends of the graduates please stand up and join me in a round of applause. Thank you for all that you've done for our graduates. To the class of 2017, at the end of today's ceremony, you will cease to be Dickinson students and become alumni of the college. This transition is straightforward yet profound. There will be later in the ceremony a formal statement from me indicating that upon recommendation of the faculty to the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you your degrees. At that time, you'll be asked to switch the tassel that is currently on your mortarboard on the right side and move it over to the left. That indicates symbolically that you are the holder of a bachelor's degree and no longer undergraduate students. It may seem simple, but we all know that behind this statement and the gesture was a lot of hard, good work. And I know you will feel appropriately proud. After this, you will follow generations of Dickinsonians spanning over 2 centuries who have preceded you down the stone steps. They include a President of the United States, a Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, who, by the way, swore in that president, the only time in American history both the giver and receiver of the oath had come from the same college. We've had associate justices, federal and Commonwealth justices, scientists, teachers, business leaders, entrepreneurs, writers, artists, lawyers, humanitarians, doctors, philanthropists, environmentalists, military officers, farmers, diplomats, college professors, and even a few college presidents. Today, 3 distinguished honorary degree recipients will join you. Lisa Marsh Ryerson, president of the AARP Foundation, James Gerlach, former U.S. Congressman and member of Dickinson's class of 1977, and James Stavridis, retired 4-star admiral who served as Supreme Allied Commander for NATO. He will deliver our commencement address. Additionally, I'd like to welcome Brett Jenks, president and CEO of RARE, who is the recipient of the 2017 Rose Walters Prize for Global Environmental Activism. And it's with great pleasure that I welcome each of our honorees today. While we are here first and foremost to celebrate the class of 2017, today I'm delighted to continue a tradition started several years ago, and that is a recognition of the members of our faculty who are retiring this year. This year there are 5 retirees, 4 of whom are traveling or on sabbatical and not able to be here today. They are, and I'll ask you to hold your applause until all 4 are announced, Barbara Diddick, Charles A. Dana Professor of Art, Alberto Rodriguez, Professor of Spanish, Gregory Smith, Associate Professor of Psychology, and Blake Wilson, Professor of Music. Our 5th retiree is with us today, and I would like him to stand and be recognized. J. Mark Rule, Glenn E. and Mary L. Todd, Professor of Political Science. And also a member of Dickinson's class of 1970, I should note. Finally, I want to recognize a retiree who is both a distinguished faculty member and an administrator, Interim Provost Bob Winston. Bob has combined an outstanding career as a member of the English department and as Senior Associate Provost. He is particularly important to you, the class of 2017, for leading the faculty through the process of approving your degrees. Together, these 6 retirees have a combined 198 years of teaching and mentoring Dickinson students, almost as much as the age of the college itself. I know the scores of students whom they have taught and the many colleagues that they have worked with over the years are grateful for their commitment to and deep affection for this college. Thank you to each of the retirees for devoting their professional careers to Dickinson. Now, to the class of 2017. As you leave your college days behind, you are taking Dickinson and this community with you. This community that each of which you have worked so hard to advance over the past 4 years. You've each made Dickinson a better place for those who will follow you. In all that you do and all that you accomplish in your lives, Dickinson will remain as a foundation and stepping off point. Each of you has the ability and indeed the responsibility to continue to support this community and its students as you move forward as alumni. Remember that always. Congratulations on your accomplishments and best wishes in all that you do. I'd now like to invite Tara Vesselt Fisher, class of 02, to come forward and announce the awarding of the Phi Beta Kappa honor.
May I ask this year's inductees to Phi Beta Kappa to please rise. Since its founding in 1776, Phi Beta Kappa has been the most prestigious and selective of the intellectual honor societies in America. The Dickinson chapter of Phi Beta Kappa, the Alpha of Pennsylvania, celebrates its 130th anniversary this commencement. Each year, nationwide, only 1 in 100 students graduating is inducted into the society. Our inductees join the ranks of an impressive group. 17 U.S. presidents, 40 U.S. Supreme Court justices, and more than 130 Nobel laureates have been inducted as members, along with countless authors, diplomats, athletes, researchers, actors, and business leaders. All of our members have one thing in common: their rigorous pursuit of excellence in the arts and sciences. The students standing before you, please stand, continue standing, have demonstrated exceptional academic achievement and good moral character. They rank in the top 10% of their graduating class. They arrived at this point with intellectual discipline, a hunger to explore, and a passion for their major field of study. But our election of these students is not simply a recognition of past achievements. The society asks more of them, and we have seen more in them than what they have accomplished so far. Phi Beta Kappa is dedicated to the principles of freedom of inquiry and liberty of thought and expression. In the future, we expect these young scholars to take intellectual risks, to find friends who will challenge them to do their best, to honor their education by supporting the values of the liberal arts, and to continue asking deep, beautiful questions as they expand their stories. Please join me in welcoming these new ambassadors to Dickinson's chapter of Phi Beta Kappa.
Actually, Phi Beta Kappa sets a cap on how many graduating seniors any individual college can honor. And I'm proud to say that the class of 2017 was so strong that you maxed out the cap. Now, I'm pleased to invite to the podium Christy Oshel, the president of the class of 2017, who will announce the winner of this year's Gano Memorial Award.
It is my privilege as president of the class of 2017 to announce the 49th recipient of the Constance and Rose Gano Memorial Award. This award, established in 1969 in accordance with the testimony wishes of the late William A. Gano of the class of 1902, is to be given to, quote, that professor of Dickinson College who, by secret ballot of the members of the senior class immediately prior to their graduation, shall have been voted the most inspirational teacher during their college course, end quote. The faculty member presented with the Gano Award receives a cash award and funds to be utilized for the purchase of books for the library, the acquisition of educational equipment, or the implementation of some other project that will enrich Dickinson's teaching learning program. It is with great pleasure that I now present the award to a highly respected and accomplished member of the Department of Mathematics and Computer Science. As an early advocate for sustainability at Dickinson, he and other faculty designed, launched, and co-led the Valley and Ridge Faculty Study Group in its first 2 years. Since then, the program has grown significantly, laying the foundation for the sustainability graduation requirement. He was also known for his important work with the Dickinson College Farm. What began as a class project for a course on database systems grew into a smartphone-compatible records management system focused on the needs of sustainable produce farmers. The project has been downloaded over 2,300 times worldwide, and some of the largest organic farms in Pennsylvania use farm data to track and manage their crop production records. Tragically, the Dickinson community lost this faculty member in February 2017 after a courageous and hard-fought battle against cancer. It is therefore with great appreciation and genuine respect that I present the 2017 Gano Award to Timothy Walls. His wife, Linda Null, is here to accept the award on his behalf.
It's now my pleasure to announce the recipients of the 3 senior prizes listed within the commencement program. The graduates who are about to receive these awards have not been informed in advance. The first 2 awards, the James Fowler Wrestling Prize and the John Patton Memorial Prize, are annually presented to members of the senior class whose academic records and accomplishments have been judged by the All-College Committee on Academic Program and Standards as the most superior. This year, the Wrestling Prize, recognizing excellent scholarly achievement, goes to Joanna Nunez. And the Patton Prize for high scholastic standing goes to Emily Voris. Will you please come forward, both of you? Okay, a little bit about each winner. Joanna crossed an ocean to attend Dickinson, hailing from Lisbon, Portugal. She majored in economics and minored in mathematics, and over the course of her undergraduate career has been an active member of the academic department and greater community. And for the second year in a row, Joanna, as a member of the women's tennis team, was named a Centennial Conference Scholar Athlete of the Year. Joanna will join the Global Transaction Banking Division of Deutsche Bank in New York City next year. Well, after commencement. Sooner than next year, next academic year. Emily is a native of Greensboro, Maryland. She majored in anthropology and earned a health studies certificate. Emily's passion for nutrition and health with a cultural focus is driving her career path. She will join the University of Maryland Extension Food Supplement Nutrition Education Program as a farmers market program assistant. Congratulations to you both. The William F. Hofstadter Senior Prizes are annually awarded to two seniors who, in the judgment of the president of the college, have made the greatest contribution to the good of Dickinson during their undergraduate years. I relied heavily upon the stated preferences of their classmates and on the suggestions of faculty and staff in selecting the recipients of these prizes. The 2017 winners of the Hofstadter Prizes, and I would ask them both to come forward, are Philip Morabito and Nick Rajabian. Philip is an international business and management major with minors in political science and Spanish. He came to Dickinson from outside the Philadelphia area. A ubiquitous figure on campus, he was involved in Student Senate, new student programs, Phonathon, and Devil's Advocates, Liberty Cap Society, and much more. It's no surprise that he is aspiring to a career in higher education as an administrator and seeking positions in that field. Nick comes to us from Evanston, Illinois. In addition to serving as a member of the recent Presidential Search Committee, Liberty Cap Society, first-year mentor, Devil's Advocates, and a tutor in the Quantitative Reasoning Center, he found time to double major in political science and economics. It too comes as no surprise that Nick is also a future college administrator considering positions in college admissions. Again, congratulations to both of you. Yep. Okay, I am now pleased to invite to the podium Jennifer Reynolds, Chair of the Board of Trustees, who will announce the new Young Alumni Trustee.
Good morning, and it's my great pleasure to announce the Young Alumni Trustee from the class of 2017. This unique tradition began with the class of 2011. A member of each graduating class is elected to serve a 2-year term as a member of the Board of Trustees with full voice and vote. We all agree that having the perspective of a recent graduate and newer member of the alumni community has been incredibly valuable in our work as trustees. After a comprehensive and very competitive application and interview process, the board's Committee on Trustees put forward one name from the senior class, and that person was elected by the full board during its annual meeting earlier this month. That person does not yet know who he or she is. Members of the board had an opportunity to meet all of the applicants at a reception in February. We were deeply impressed by each of you for your maturity, intelligence, love, and passion for this incredible institution. And I hope that each of you will find ways to serve as leaders, advocates, and volunteers for Dickinson and lend your voices as engaged alumni for our alma mater. You are all so very impressive, and you've set the bar quite high for those who will follow you. Thank you for your commitment to Dickinson. Ordinarily, the on-campus selection committee has the challenging task of narrowing the pool of applicants to 3 individuals to be interviewed by the Board of Trustees. However, this year, the group was so impressive that they presented us with 4. We knew going into the interview process that the choice would be extremely difficult, and we were right. We even briefly discussed amending our bylaws to allow for 2 students to be selected, but there can be only 1. So a special thank you to all 4 of our finalists for making our job so difficult. You make us proud to be Dickinsonians. Now, as chair of the Board of Trustees, I am so pleased to announce that the young alumni trustee from the class of 2017 is Savannah Riley. Savannah, please come forward. The trustees and president of Dickinson College in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, by this document, certify that in accordance with the bylaws of the college, Savannah Rain Riley, a member of the class of 2017, is hereby named the college's Young Alumni Trustee for the term July 1st, 2017 to June 30th, 2019. That's 6 meetings.
Okay.
With all rights, privileges, and responsibilities of a trustee as set forth in the charter and bylaws of the college. Congratulations, Savannah. We'll see you soon.
I would now like to ask Tom Arnold, Professor of Biology, John Adams, co-founder of the Natural Resources Defense Council, Sam Rose, class of 1958 and emeritus trustee, and Brett Jenks, the 2017 recipient of the Sam Rose and Julie Waters Prize for Global Environmental Activism, to come forward.
This year, we award the 6th annual Sam Rose and Julie Walters Prize at Dickinson College for Global Environmental Activism. The $100,000 prize recognizes an individual who has made a defining difference by advancing responsible action on behalf of the planet, its resources, and people. Sam Rose, graduate of the class of 1958, and his wife, Julie Walters, established the prize in 2012 to honor John Adams, who co-founded the National Resource Defense Council and served as executive director and president for nearly 4 decades. They did so because of their deep personal regard for John and to focus attention on the need to reduce the impacts humans are having on the planet. We are honored to have John Adams with us here today, and we are pleased that Sam Rose and Julie Walters are here as well. Their generosity to Dickinson College extends well beyond their support for the award we give today. Previous recipients of the Rose Walters Prize are the Pulitzer Prize-winning author Elizabeth Kolbert, actor, activist, and Avenger Mark Ruffalo, author and environmental activist Bill McKibben, Apple's Vice President of Environmental Initiatives and former EPA Administrator Lisa Jackson, and award-winning documentarian James Baylog. This year's recipient is Brett Jenks. Mr. Jenks has been a journalist, a filmmaker, Cato Fellow, Braddock Scholar, and McNulty Prize Laureate. He is the Chief Executive Officer of RARE, a global conservation organization that helps local organizations protect coastal fisheries, forests, restore wetlands, manage agricultural fields, and safeguard clean water. The enormity of these environmental challenges means that to be effective, solutions must be scalable. Robert Ross, President and CEO of the California Endowment, recently remarked that the greatest impediment to solving these urgent problems is our inability to scale up solutions that work. Under Mr. Jenks' leadership, RARE has mastered the art of scaling up solutions, a process they call solutionology. RARE trains local leaders and inspires communities and nations to adopt sustainable behaviors, and this approach has helped to protect coral reefs and fisheries in the Philippines and Indonesia, provide clean water to remote communities in the Andes, and conserve wetlands in China. All told, RARE has created sustainable, climate-smart solutions in over 50 countries. Mr. Jenks has forged partnerships with Bloomberg Philanthropies, the Nature Conservancy, Conservation International, Oceana, Environmental Defense Fund, and the Ministries of Environment and Fisheries for many host nations. Since 2000, RARE has also scaled up their own operations an astonishing 3,000%. Mr. Jenks recently spoke about these successes at the Smithsonian Institution's Earth Optimism Summit. In the coming year, Mr. Jenks will bring his energy, vision, and expertise to our campus during the 3-day Rose Walters residency. Interim President Weissman, I present to you Mr. Brett Jenks for award of the Sam Rose and Julie Walters Prize at Dickinson College for Global Environmental Activism. Now Sam Rose will say a few words, followed by our prize recipient, Brett Jenks.
Good morning. Climate change is real. Created by past generations and primarily by mine. We're not doing enough to cure the problem, so it's going to be dumped on you. I'm not proud of that, but that's the truth. If that's not bad enough, we just elected a president who says climate change is a Chinese hoax. I think the only hoax is the Russian hoax he pulled on us. So I'm here today as a 1958 Dickinson graduate, feeling guilty. Not too bad, but a little bit. Because I'm guilty and a little arrogant, I expect today to make the problem go away. I'm working on nuclear. There's a new clean nuclear that can help produce electricity without putting any CO2 in the air. Very important. And a lot of other stuff. And part of the other stuff is Brett Jenks. How would you like to have a job where you're paid a very handsome amount to travel to 50 countries and go fishing? That's his job. And by the way, he cleans up the ocean a little too while he's doing it. Our fishing populations are being depleted very quickly, and Brett's the best bet so that you can still eat fish in the future. So I turn it over to Brett to give you a few comments. Thank you.
Sam is one of a kind. Just a few quick remarks. President Weissman, distinguished guests, faculty, and you, the graduating class of 2017. On behalf of the staff and many volunteers at my organization, RARE, I want to thank you for this award, and I want to pledge to put it to use immediately to advance the sustainability of our planet. I'm so grateful to Sam Rose and to his wife, Julie Walters, for establishing this award, and to an environmental hero, John Adams, who inspired it. I've gotten to know Sam and Julie over the last few years, and what I appreciate most about them is their endless commitment to investing in others, something we can all learn from on a daily basis. There are students graduating today with scholarships from Sam and Julie. There are classrooms and buildings on campus that would not exist without them. And there will be environmental leaders standing here receiving this award years from now, thanks to their generosity. I also want to say thank you to Dickinson College. Dickinson creates environmental leaders. It has one of the oldest and most established environmental and sustainability programs in the country. 90+% of all of you took some sustainability course while you were here. So it's fitting that Dickinson have an environmental leadership award, which makes it especially an honor to be standing here before you today. In keeping with the spirit, Dickinson's spirit, and that of Sam and Julie, I'd like to commit and pledge today to use these funds to launch a brand new initiative in honor of all of you and as a result of this generous award. And I'll just tell you briefly about it. Over the past 25 years, the organization I'm lucky enough to lead, RARE, has trained more than 350 local environmental leaders in more than 50 countries, investing heavily in their leadership, their skills, their potential. These leaders have then created national parks, they have passed key legislative reforms, and they have literally saved species from extinction. What we've learned over those years is that conservation is about people above all, that creating a sustainable planet requires changing human behavior, changing how we think about nature, changing how we see our impact on it. Over time, this means subtly shifting how we farm, how we fish, how we travel, how we eat, how we make our clothes, how we heat and cool our homes. There's a lot of change a-coming. Creating this kind of change may sound daunting, but it's already happening all around us. We are witness to incredible change right now. Sustainability is on the march all over the world. And the Rose Walters Prize, which brings a $100,000 award, is going to enable a further investment in that environmental leadership. Now, while I'd really like to spend this money paying for college tuition for my two children, as all of you parents deeply understand out there, I've decided to put this funding into an exciting new initiative at RARE. We're going to design a platform and a training program to train 2,500 local conservation leaders from more than 25 countries over the next 5 years. And together with them, we will lead this charge for tropical sustainability. Thank you. I'm really looking forward to coming back to Dickinson in the fall to share with you our vision for this program, to share with you how we think about the nature of human behavior change and how we're going to inspire change so that people and nature can thrive for generations to come. So congratulations to the class of 2017, and thank you for this honor.
Solutionology. What a great term. We like ologies here at Dickinson. Okay, we'll now move to the conferring of honorary degrees. I would like to invite Professor David O'Connell to come forward and introduce our first honored guest.
Representative Gerlach, at a time when America's political system is far too often marked by bitter partisanship, intense ideological polarization, and extreme anger, you serve as an example of a better type of politics. Your career reminds us that politics is not war, and that a difference in opinion does not make us enemies. You have served the people of Pennsylvania well through a distinguished career in government. Beginning in 1990, you served 2 terms in the Pennsylvania House of Representatives, followed by 2 terms in the Pennsylvania State Senate. In 2002, you were elected to the United States House of Representatives from the 6th District in Pennsylvania, a position you would hold for 6 consecutive terms. Over the course of this nearly quarter century as an elected official, you have embodied the potential to be found when we remember that the ultimate purpose of government is not to score points, but to solve problems. Publicly, you would describe yourself as a middle-of-the-road Republican or as a moderate centrist. So it's not surprising that advanced statistical analysis of your voting record shows that you regularly ranked as one of the 15 most moderate members of the House Republican caucus. You had clear political values, but your record provides ample evidence of your willingness to vote against your party when you felt it was the right thing to do. You also grasped that good policy has to strike a balance between competing goals and interests. For example, although you were a tireless advocate for economic development, you also recognized that economic prosperity shouldn't come at the expense of the environment. And so you were a consistent proponent of land preservation at both the state and federal levels. Between 2006 and 2012 alone, $94 million worth of farmland and natural habitats were conserved due to tax credits you sponsored. One of your signature legislative achievements came in your first year in Congress, when President George W. Bush signed into law your bill that established a national veterans cemetery in Bucks County. Your law helped the nearly 350,000 veterans in southeastern Pennsylvania who wanted to be buried closer to home when the nearest cemetery at the time was over 90 miles away. Your leadership on this issue ultimately reflected your common sense, people-first approach to governing. As you told one reporter just before you left office, quote, "You work on the issues your constituents want you to work on." You regularly spoke about how much gratification you felt when you and your staff helped people in your district with their everyday concerns, like the seniors who didn't receive their Social Security checks, men and women who needed assistance with visas, and veterans facing obstacles to needed benefits. You always tried to treat these individuals with the respect to which they are entitled. Responding to a study that revealed your public remarks were delivered at a higher grade level than all but 2 other members of Congress, you said, quote, "My goal when communicating, whether it is with constituents or colleagues on the House floor, is to focus on substance rather than sound bites. That's what people expect and deserve." Yet even given the tremendous burdens of public office, you never lost your connection with noble Dickinsonia. You first came to Carlisle from the small town of Elwood City in western Pennsylvania. While at Dickinson, you jumped into life at the college, majoring in political science and becoming an active member of the Sigma Chi fraternity. But perhaps you most made a name for yourself on campus as a 4-year starting running back for the football team. On October 9th, 1976, you helped lead the Red Devils to our greatest win in school history when the team defeated Widener University 17-6, despite entering the game as 40-point underdogs. After graduating, you served the college as a member of the Board of Trustees in the late 1980s, and while a sitting member of the United States Congress, you somehow still often found the time to come back to campus, whether for Clark Forum events or to celebrate the achievements of the college's athletic teams. Interim President Weissman, for his distinguished record of service, for the powerful example he has set of the importance of civility and compromise, and for his undying love for this college and this community, I am proud to present the Honorable James Jim Gerlach, class of 1977, as a candidate for an honorary degree of political science.
James Gerlach, upon the recommendation of the faculty to the Board of Trustees and by its mandamus, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Political Science, honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and distinctions thereunto appertaining. in token of which I present you with this diploma and cause you to be invested with the hood of Dickinson College appropriate to your degree.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Very much. Thank you.
It was a pleasure getting to know Lisa Marsh Ryerson through my research for this citation. It's been an even greater pleasure getting to know her face to face. Ryerson is a native of Jamestown, New York, and a woman of passion and compassion. I found we might have several things in common. We both grew up near lakes. I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, she in Jamestown, New York, which means that we might know something about lake effect snow, indeed. Currently, she is president of the AARP Foundation, the philanthropic arm of AARP, one of the largest lobbying bodies for older Americans. The core mission of the foundation is to give struggling older adults a voice, making them visible and giving them opportunities to thrive. It focuses on issues like health, homelessness, and hunger. This work is all about care and compassion. It reminds me of my earlier career in the helping professions. But I am also most convinced of her care and compassion because of the other thing we have in common. Ryerson was a college dean. Specifically, she was dean of students at Wells College, her alma mater. She held other positions there before finally being tapped in 1995 to serve as the first alumna president of Wells. She ably served the college and the surrounding community of Aurora, New York for 18 years. A champion of women's education, Lisa led campus improvement efforts at Wells and also helped to revitalize the local community. It is no wonder that after she retired from Wells, she was chosen in 2013 to lead the AARP Foundation. Ryerson has been involved in many national, state, and local organizations. She served as the chair of the Women's College Coalition and led the executive board of the Public Leadership Education Network, both in Washington, D.C. She was a board member of the National Association of Independent Colleges and Universities, and she served as vice chair of the Commission on Independent Colleges and Universities of New York State. Ryerson also held many other leadership positions and received accolades and awards for her work. She is touted as someone who has significant experience leading complex organizations, nothing more complex than a college. That was certainly true of her work as a college president, but it also clearly describes her work in her current position. In 2016, she was the recipient of a Smart CEO Brava Award, which celebrates the distinguished achievement of top women business leaders in the greater Washington, D.C. area. Lisa is someone who can also do hard work and make difficult decisions for the greater good. This was certainly true when, as a product of a women's college and a champion of women's education, she led Wells College's transition to co-education. As difficult as I am sure that decision was, it repositioned a place she loved and helped ensure its viability for future generations. She demonstrated that she understood then, as she has so eloquently said, the changing landscape of what education is, what education should be, who our learners are, and how American higher education has and will continue to transform in this changing marketplace of needs. From her childhood days of working at McDonald's and her early ambitions to become an attorney, Lisa Marsh Ryerson has lived up to her values of service and advocacy for people who need it. Interim President Weissman, for her dedication to the common good, for her visionary leadership in higher education and in the wider community, for her concern for some of the most vulnerable in our society, I am honored to present to you Lisa Marsh Ryerson for the honorary degree of Doctor of Social Services.
Lisa Marsh Ryerson, upon the recommendation of the faculty to the Board of Trustees and by its mandamus, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Social Services honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and distinction thereunto appertaining, in token of which I present you with this diploma and cause you to be invested with the hood of Dickinson College appropriate to your degree.
James George Stravitas, your 2014 autobiography about serving as Supreme Allied Commander of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization has a curious title, The Accidental Admiral. How does one accidentally become an admiral? I assume you did not gain this position by mistake or stroke of luck. What I think the title implies, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that your path in life has not been straightforward. As you rose to one of the highest military positions in the world, you had to weave together various ways of thinking, devise creative solutions to unexpected challenges, and break with convention. In other words, the story of the Accidental Admiral is a story of a life infused with a liberal arts mentality. In the mid-1970s, you attended the U.S. Naval Academy, where you majored in English, a rarity among midshipmen. After graduating, you served on several cruisers and destroyers, but you also managed to earn a doctorate in international relations from the Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy at Tufts University. It is noteworthy that while in graduate school, you also taught a literature of the sea course to undergraduates, and of course, included reading Herman Melville. In the 1990s, you commanded the state-of-the-art USS Barry with distinction and oversaw a significant move towards gender equality, with the USS Barry becoming the first destroyer in the fleet to allow female sailors to serve. And when you became commander of the U.S. Southern Command in 2006, you used your liberal arts training to adapt the organization to complex, interconnected world problems. For instance, you demanded that your officers acquire linguistic and cultural skills to enhance interactions with regional partners in Latin America. All the while, and against the counsel of your superiors, you maintained a prolific scholarship agenda that has resulted in hundreds of op-eds and scholarly articles and 8 books, one of which will be published this year. Even in your 2009 appointment to the top military command of NATO, you smashed through conventional ways of business. You were the first naval officer to become Supreme Allied Commander, a position that traditionally is held by Army generals. Furthermore, you advocated for the alliance to employ smart power to deal with 21st century security issues. As you define it, smart power is the assertion that security is not just about military readiness, but also about the adroit application of diplomatic, economic, and cultural influences. It is combining elements of soft and hard power in creative ways. For example, you created public-private security partnerships, directly engaged the public about NATO policy, and worked like a diplomat in uniform. You effectively implemented this smart power approach to steer NATO's International Security Assistance Force in Afghanistan, combat piracy off the Horn of Africa, enforce a UN-mandated no-fly zone in Libya, and modify the alliance's cybersecurity strategy. More recently, you have dedicated yourself to education and scholarship. Taking a page from your father, who was also a career military who was also a career military officer and president of the Community College of Allegheny County in Pittsburgh, you became the 12th dean of the Fletcher School at Tufts in 2013. As dean, you have sought to cultivate strategic thinking and innovative problem-solving skills among students at one of the most prestigious international affairs schools in the world. Moreover, you have become a public intellectual who frequently makes media appearances, writes a dean's blog on current affairs, and is active on Twitter. Interim President Weissman, for his service to the United States and to NATO, for modeling a life directed by the liberal arts, for innovative problem solving, for his devotion to education and scholarship. On behalf of the class of 2017, I am honored to present Admiral James Stavridis for the honorary degree of Doctor of Public Service.
James Stavridis, upon the recommendation of the faculty to the Board of Trustees and by its mandamus, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Public Service, honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and distinctions thereunto appertaining, in token of which I present you with this diploma and cause you to be invested with the hood of Dickinson College appropriate to your degree. And it's my honor to ask Admiral Stavridis to deliver his commencement remarks.
Thank you. Well, let me begin by getting the microphone down to the height of a normal person. A lot of times after people hear that biography, Supreme Allied Commander, and they meet me, they generally say, wow, I thought you'd be taller than you appear to be. The president told me normal commencement address is about 2 hours and 15 minutes, so hopefully you're all comfortable. Now, no worries, you will be having a beer at the G-Man before you know it. Yeah, the first real applause of the day there for the G-Man. So you're also wondering, why am I here? And the answer is not that beautiful introduction. Thank you very much, Andy. But it's actually my lovely wife, Laura, who is a proud graduate of Dickinson College, class of 1981. Laura. And although, as was mentioned, I'm a graduate of the Naval Academy and Tufts University for my PhD, I stood right here in 1981 when Laura graduated and was signed out of Dickinson College. So I congratulate all of you. Now here's something from that day. As I was getting ready to do the commencement address, I realized I not only couldn't remember a single thought, but I had no idea who had even given it. So I think that's a little warning to me of the impact of my talk, which I assure you will be brief. But what I want you to do at this minute is know that the people you remember from this day will be your classmates, your professors, and above all, your families. Please applaud them one more time. So I've had a long and fairly eventful life, and I will not overshare with you today, but I do have a modest proposition I'd like to put to the class of 2017. And to get me to that proposition, I need to begin with a phrase that I hear a lot these days. I spent 37 years in the military, and very nicely, people come up to me frequently and they say, Admiral, thank you for your service. And that means a lot to me. But I also have a problem with that phrase. And my problem is that conversation, that thank you for your service, has somehow come to focus on our uniformed military. And that is not right. There are so many ways to serve this nation and the world. And I'll start with people like first responders, emergency medical technicians, police, firemen. I had the misfortune to be in the Pentagon on 9/11. That airplane came crashing through. 200 of my shipmates were killed that day. I was running out of the building, believe me. Guess who was running into the building? Firemen, police, emergency medical personnel. So today I want to start by saying to them, thank you for your service. I'll give you another one, and it's something that Dickinson is well known for. It's the U.S. Peace Corps. Your school is noted not only for its internationalism, 70% of you go abroad, but for putting people into the Peace Corps. Those are low-paying jobs. They're often in very dangerous places, but they serve the world extraordinarily. Every year at the Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy, I welcome 15, 20 returning Peace Corps volunteers. Today I say thank you for your service. What about teachers? On this platform today, we just put an honorary degree on someone who is a president of a university. What about all the teachers, especially in low-income, underserved, unprivileged places? My sister is a school teacher in Charleston, South Carolina. I think about Teach for America, voluntary work in schools, and what all of your faculty do here. You know, when I think about teachers, I'm always reminded of that old movie, A Man for All Seasons. And there's a conversation in it where Thomas More is talking to his hyper-ambitious young son-in-law. And Moore says to his son, well, you could become a teacher. And his son-in-law says, but if I were a teacher, who would know it? And Moore said, well, your students would know, your family would know, God would know, you would know. Not a bad audience. Being a teacher is so meaningful, and it is great service to this country. And today I say thank you for your service to all the teachers here. What about our nation's diplomats, intelligence professionals, those who live abroad in the world, not in a uniform, often serving in embassies in dangerous places? In the course of my misspent youth in the Navy, I probably visited well over 100 embassies over the years. I saw so many people of extraordinary quality, courage, often under fire. Today, I say thank you for your service to those diplomats who stood alongside us in the military. I'll tell you another group that I think doesn't get the respect it deserves, especially today, and that is the media. We love to kind of bash the media, but I will tell you, so many times I have seen members of the media who go into the most dangerous situations, sometimes in far-flung places in combat scenarios, sometimes in a dangerous environment like Washington, D.C. They go armed not with body armor and weapons. They go with a notepad, a smartphone, maybe a cameraman. They are courageous under fire. They tell us the truth. We need them more now than ever in my lifetime. To the media, I say thank you for your service. Two years ago, Ebola flared up in West Africa, who went there first? Was it the uniformed military? No. It was medical personnel who risked their lives deploying into frightening pandemic situations. Nurses, doctors. I have 2 son-in-laws who are physicians, 1 daughter who's a nurse. They are courageous people who are willing to take chances and risk. Our medical personnel protect us. Today I say thank you for their service. The world of business, it is not all about making the money. We see so many entrepreneurs at the early stages who are creating systems of value and giving to this nation and to the world, or at the other end of a career pipeline. I see people like Eric Schmidt at Google, Bill Gates at Microsoft, Dan Schulman at PayPal. There are no more socially conscious or responsible people in the world than some of these CEOs. So to those who create the economy that allows the rest of us to serve, to those entrepreneurs and businessmen and women, I say thank you for your service. And lastly, to our other honorary degree recipient, Representative Jim Gerlach. You know, politics has become blood sport in America, sadly. Yet hundreds and hundreds of terrific women and men are still willing to stand for office, to become elected officials, many of them in low-paying, extraordinarily low-paying jobs in small communities, waterworks commissioners, someone like Representative Gerlach serving in the Congress, making a fraction of what he could make. These are men and women who serve us in many cases. Are there some who we like less than others? Yeah, okay. But those who are willing to stand on a wall in a political world to try and create better outcomes for our nation, like Jim Gerlach, those kind of politicians, I say thank you for your service to our country. And there are countless others. I could go on and on about political activists, about people who run food banks, about the wonderful folks working humane societies, on and on and on. There are so many ways to serve this country beyond the honor of being in the military. It's something we should bear in mind, and it brings me to my modest proposal for all of you. It is simply that in the course of the gorgeous trajectories of your lives, find time to serve. The Jesuits say, be women and men for others. Find a time in your life, and it could be a short period, it could be a whole career, but think consciously about service. And I'll close because I'm Greek American and I'm allowed to tell one Greek story. I'm going to close by telling you about a group of Greeks 2,500 years ago who served. This was a time when Greece was under the threat of invasion by the Persian Empire. The king Xerxes led a massive fleet of these triremes, these huge rowed warships. And that group of warships, triremes, came off the shores of Athens, the capital of Greece, the only democracy in the world. And the Greeks were outnumbered 5-1. They knew that democracy hung in the balance. The night before that battle, the Athenian admiral Themistocles gathered the captains of these rowing ships. And he said to them, tomorrow in the morning, you must tell your rowers 4 things. Because his rowers, the Athenians, were all free citizens of Athens. The rowers in the Persian vessels were conscripted slaves. Themistocles said to his captains, tell your Greeks tomorrow they must row for their parents. They must row for their wives and their children. They must row for their city. And tomorrow, they must row for freedom. That service, I hope you find a way to service, because the next day, the small Greek fleet destroyed the Persian armada. They saved Greece. They saved democracy. That is service. As we conclude this chapter of your lives, I would ask that you find a way to serve, because one day I want to say to you, class of 2017, thank you for your service. God bless you all. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Admiral Stavridis, for your remarks, so appropriate at a college founded with the idea of serving a new American democracy. We will now continue with the conferring of degrees, and I would ask Interim Provost and Dean Winston, please to come to the podium.
Students at Dickinson College who satisfy all requirements for graduation qualify for either a Bachelor of Arts degree or a Bachelor of Science degree. The degree each graduating senior will receive today is identified next to his or her name in the printed commencement program. Will all the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degree and the Bachelor of Science degree please rise and remain in your places? Interim President Weissman, I hereby confirm that each of the degree candidates standing before us has completed all of the requirements for either the Bachelor of Arts degree or the Bachelor of Science degree.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty to the Board of Trustees and with the board's mandamus, I confer upon each of you the degree appropriate to the program of study you have completed in cursu, with all of the rights, privileges, distinctions, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. In token of which, I shall present each of you your diploma and grant you the right to wear the hood appropriate to that degree. You may now move your tassels from the right to the left. Welcome, alumni of Dickinson College.
Please be seated. We shall now commence with the awarding of the bachelor degrees. Graduates, please remain seated until the members of the faculty serving as assistant marshals indicate that you should come forward a few rows at a time to receive your hoods and your diplomas. It is traditional at the commencement exercises at Dickinson for each graduating senior to descend what are affectionately known as the Old Stone Steps of Old West, the oldest structure on our campus. As he or she approaches the podium to receive the bachelor's degree, today's graduates will come down the steps as Professor Dan Kozort, the Secretary of the Faculty, reads their names. Continuing a tradition started several years ago, I am pleased to welcome two alumni today to open the doors of Old West so that the graduates can descend the old stone steps. The two alumni with us today are Mr. John Mack Disnmore, president of the class of 2016, representing our most recent alumni, and Richard Placey, class of 1952, representing our most senior alumni. Please welcome them as they open the doors for the graduates. As the graduates move into place to receive their degrees, it is my duty, but my pleasure to join the ranks of those faceless and unremembered people who provide filler during ceremonies like this. It's an ancient and honorable profession, actually. The class of 2017 is composed of 530 graduates. 5% of these completed their degree requirements last summer and February. 40% of the class of 2017 graduate with Latin honors. This is the same percentage as graduated with Latin honors last year. 12% of students receiving Latin honors are registered in the Office of Disability Services. 50 students are graduating with departmental honors. 72% of graduates will be awarded a Bachelor of Arts degree. 28% will be awarded a Bachelor of Science degree. 58% of this graduating class studied off campus at some point during their undergraduate years, either abroad or through a domestic exchange program. 56% of this graduating class studied abroad during their undergraduate years. They studied in 28 countries on 6 continents. 49% of men and 60% of women studied abroad. 39% of students of color studied abroad. 42% of students majoring in the sciences studied abroad. And 5% of students participated in off-campus study programs in the United States, such as the Washington Center. 2 graduating seniors have been awarded Fulbrights this year. 1 senior will join the Critical Language Scholarship Program, a fully funded overseas language and cultural immersion program of the United States Department of State. 2 seniors were awarded Environmental Protection Agency Greater Research Opportunity Fellowships, EPA GROW Fellowships, which will help fund their graduate study. And now I have filled the empty space, and I return to my seat.
Mr. President, the seniors are ready to receive their degrees. Margot Elise Abrahams. Patrick John Abrahamson. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is his brother, James D. Abrahamson, class of 2015. Emily Claire Abramowitz. Kalia Adams. Mark Tyler Adams. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is his brother, Michael J. Adams, class of 2015. Nairi Addison. Haley Rose Advocat. Lauren Lee Ahern. Armand Matthew Alexis. Phoebe Letterock Alabak. Daniel Patrick Alagar. Michael P. Allen. Sydney Michelle Allen. Talia Joy Amarasano. Paul Corell Anderson. Timothy James Anderson. Erin Louise Andreassi. Stephanie Jean Applegate. Kimberly Babbage. Ellen Elizabeth Baer. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is her mother, Sarah Baer, a member of the Dickinson College faculty, and her brother, Sean M. Baer, class of 2012. Laura Leanne Balsarac. Jacob Ryan Band. Juliana Marie Barr. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is her mother, Anne Calvarasi Barr, class of 1982. Emma Kate Batchelder. Jordan Lee Bear. Imani R.H. Beard. Lillian Sophia Beardsley. Daniel Joseph Becker. Emma Jane Frances Beckert. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is Woody Goldberg, class of 1963, and emeritus member of the Dickinson College Board of Trustees. Zachariah James Benalayet. Brooke Nicole Bender. Alexander Harrison Bennett. Lauren Constance Benton. Adiva Lee Berkowitz. Stephanie Joan Barrier. Jessamine Rittenberg Biet. Jesse Elliott Bissell. Stephen Christopher Black. Lauren Elizabeth Babiak. Olivia Lucia Boggiano Peterson. William Anthony Bolinski Jr. Jarrett Timothy Bordner. Laura Margaret Boysa. Sarah Dunn Brand. Colleen Teresa Brandt. Claire Frances Brigham. Sophia Best Brosinos. Jordan Kendall Brossi. Mark Alcid Brown. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is his brother, Davis K. Brown, class of 2015. Saria Mackenzie Brown Moffett. Layla Heather Budin. Emily Ray Burton. Talene Bernadette Bush. Lucia Bustillo Gutierrez de Pinares. Joseph Robert Cascioni Jr. Taylor Kelsey Callahan. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is her sister, Kimberly T. Callahan, class of 2013. Alexander Michael Callahan. Natalie Cow. McLean Thomas Capron. Luis Enrique Cardenas. Allison Marie Carey. Glenn Elizabeth Carr. Elizabeth Ashley Carroll. Rinaldus Javier Castillo. Aubrey Claire Kearley. Jeffrey Robert Chamberlain. Clark Allen Chapman. Nidhi Charun. Devlin H. Chen. Yuchen Chen. Michael S. Cherry. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is his brother, Matthew W. Cherry, class of 2013. Clara Ann Childers. Goen Choi. Evangeline Ward Clapp. Jackson Claudio. Macy Beth Cohen. Sarah Catherine Cole. Connor Maxwell Collins. Ara Rachel Connell. James Joseph Corty, Jr. Patrick John Cosgrave. Sydney Sullivan Cross. Kristen R. Cudahy. Tara Elizabeth Cudahy. Delphine Dalagata. Tara Dahl Pra Everson. Alyssa Christy Daly LaBelle. Seth Ian Donnells. Ku Dong. Michael Philip Daniel. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is his mother, Flora Z. Daniel, a member of the Dickinson College staff. James George Dappert. Elizabeth Merritt Davis. Daniel James Day. Mackenzie Gray Dean. Victoria Lee Delaney. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is her grandmother, Barbara Minnick Wyatt, class of 1955. Jaime Emilio Delgado. Michael James Dell. Anthony James Delvecchio. Trevor Adam Diamond. Tiffany Ernestina Diaz. Alexander Jesse Dillon. Lily Angeline Diomede. Bach Viet Don. Margaret May Dewart. Austin Ellsworth Dowell. Cadence Carey Doyle. Rebecca Elizabeth Duke-Machen. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is her sister, Caroline E. Duke-Machen, class of 2012. Anna Margaret Duzick. Samuel Anthony Eaton. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is his mother, Christine M. Barbone, and his father, Jeffrey G. Eaton, both class of 1981. Helen Christopher Edmondson. Edward Finney Imala. Edgar Estrada. Jorge Estrada. Madison Catherine Etchberger. Hannah Lynn Fabashevsky. Olivia Nia Falsey. Caroline Duell Fallen. Yael Lee Farber. Caitlin Jennifer Farrell. Assisting in the awarding of the degree are her brothers, Justin T. Farrell, class of 2013, and Colin M. Farrell, class of 2015. Matthew Ian Ferry. Mariah Beth Finkelstein. Charles Walden Fisher. Timothy William Flaherty. Brady William Fauché. Stephen Joseph Foster. Patricia Abigail Francis Hall. Adriana Noel Fain Frain Rigsa. Michael Andrew Frederick. Colleen Ann Frericks. Shelby Valentine Friedel. Christopher Brandon Fritz. Liam Boland Fuller. Emily Sarah Gamber. Ariana Garagazzo. Leonel Jesus Garcia Dominguez. Justin Tyler Gardner. Zachary George Garrett. Jasmine Rose Gatton. Jacqueline Elizabeth Geisler. Linda Genser. Jamie Marie George. Afni Germain. Jacob T. Geary. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is his father, Travis N. Geary, class of 1986. Rehoboth Ketama Gesessa. Kathleen Louise Jittaz. Isaiah I. Gibson. Andrew Robert Jilkis. Alyssa Dovella Giordano. Morgane Maria Gettelmeyer. Ellie Mihal Goldfarb. Timothy Tyler Golian. Vaughn George Gooding III. Emily B. Goodman. Jacqueline Abigail Lawrence Goodwin. Elena Grace Gormley. Mary Kathleen Gorman. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is her father, Thomas J. Gorman, class of 1975, her aunt, Nancy Gorman Eshelman, class of 1970, and her uncle, Thomas R. Eshelman, class of 1970. Anton William Grabus. Elizabeth Green Grabowski. Cy Grundy. Jacob Alexander Grant. Keziah Donaker Growth Tuft. Madeline Stratton Groves. Christopher Spencer Guy. Molly Elizabeth Himmel. Marshall Robert Harston. Paige Marie Hamilton. Danny Aladdin Sinoa Hamoudi. Jessica Paige Hampton. Jillian Nicole Hampton. Jahao Han. Megan Jean Hansen. Charlotte Louise Harden. Gavin Robert Harder. Alexis Marie Haney. Stephanie Donna Hiring. Mason Robert Hepner. H.M. Celindy Hayrath. Charlotte Clara Heroux. Ellen Louise Hitch. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is her father, Stephen Hitch, a member of the Dickinson College staff. James Anthony Higgins. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is his brother, Miller T. Higgins, class of 2015. Robert Tyrell Hill. Renee Cook Hurt. Stephen Charles Hofer, Jr. Michelle E. Hoffer. Richard Joseph Hopkins, Jr. Gillian Horn. Jillian Horn. William Thomas Hornsby. Emily Ann Hauser. Katya Ren Richak. Abigail Gail Seelin Shea. Shijiao Chi Hong. Amy Elizabeth Hudak. Ralph Addison Humiston. Brady Scott Hummel. Taylor Jonathan Hunkins. Brandy Noel Hunter. Willa Burton Hutt. Carlos Andres Iglesias. Patrick Michael Irwin Jr. Alan Davis Jacks. Abigail Elise Jenkins. Elena J. Juden. Amanda Hilder Jimkowski. Elizabeth Eleanor Johnson. Kelsey Sierra Johnson. Bridget Marie Jones. Christopher Joseph Jones. Rodney David Jones, Jr. Sean Howland Jones. Michelle Annette Jordan. Claire Susanna Jordy. Alexander R. Juravlev. Navia Kafle. Amanda Rose Kale. Zachary Ross Kaleman. Caroline Rachel Kanaski. Alyssa Rebecca Cantor. Max Paul Cantor. Stephen Robert Kaplan. Jonathan C. Carlson. Ariana Kasabian. Anna Leon Kaufman. Sarah Kay. Zachary Aiden Keller Coffey. Patrick David Kennelly. Allison Grace Kennedy. Simon Curtis Kahn. Alexander Nikolai Kuri. James Paul Koch Jr. Virginia Jacqueline Kopacki. Edward Walter Kozlowski. Majin Jonah Kroll. Jenna Rachel Kranis. Miranda Violet Perry Lockman. Isabel Audrey Lamb. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is her sister, Melia C. Lamb, class of 2014. Isabel Ann Lang. Anne Frances Langworthy. Sophia Katarina Larson. Catherine Ann Laswell. Elijah Cole Lowy. Ira Edwin Lauer IV. Tanita Ann Leary. Carlos Lee. Shaz Kamal Youssef Lee. Jonathan Michael Legrigan. Emily Caitlin Leonard. Nikita Andreevich Leonov. Jeanette N. Levin. Jonah David Levy Pieski. Casey Alexandra Lewis. Taylor Alexandra Lejeune. Jua Lee. Wesley John Lickus. Austin Reed Lieber. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is his brother, Spencer B. Lieber, class of 2015. Sean Lin. Maxwell Silva Leo. Travis Wills Lipscomb. Rebecca Lauren Lipset. Brian Morris Lissack. Jessica Andra Lizardo. Tyler Vincent Llewellyn. Bianca Lucy Logiardo. Pamela Lauren Lohmuller. Megan Rose Luce. Elizabeth Norwood Lowe. Emma Ilaria Lynch. Claire Amanda McMillan Bell. Megan Elizabeth Magruder. Karen Elise McGuire. Lena Marie Linbo Malone. Sarah Gabrielle Mandel. Jack James Marcus. Jillian Ann Marini. Maureen Ashton Marsh. Erica Summer Marshall. Mary Olivia Martin. Michelle Candace Martiri. Cassandra Mary Michelli. Stephanie Marie Mazer. Callie Marie McCarthy. Connor Matthew McCarthy. William Harry McCarthy. Ian Richard McManus. Natalie Burns McNeil. Molly Catherine McNulty. Alvin Tyrone McRae. Khadija Yvette McSeed. Skylar Lee Mead. Danielle Dow Melnick. Christine Carol Marola. James D. Midkiff. Olivia Greer Migliori. Henry Peter Milano III. Madison Alexis Miller. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is her mother, Tonya Barrick Miller, a member of the Dickinson College staff. Mackenzie Taylor Miller, Assisting in the awarding of the degree is her mother, Tonya Barrick Miller, a member of the Dickinson College staff. Sophia Louise Miller. Ariel Lauren Misrock. Samuel Jason Muller. Sophie Melissa Moore. Philip Andrew Morabito. Chloe Elena Morakis. Jennifer Naomi Morris. John Wesley Morrow. Lindsay Ann Morton. Ida Lilia Musavi. Cameron James Murray. Charles Etienne Myers. Devin Melissa Nally. Olivia Isabel Newbert. Alexis Nicole Newton. An Tram Nguyen. Huang Mai Nguyen. Lam Fu Win. Mi Tra Win. Tim Oldfield Newenhouse. Michael Josheng New. Patrick John Nolan. Hannah Claire Norman. Joanna Peixoto Nunes. Barbara Eileen O'Brien. Chase Avery O'Connell. Isabel Julia O'Connor. Jojo Okran. Marie Angela O'Keefe. Prince Oku. Rika W. Olson. Carrie Victoria Oravec. Michelle Chloe Orden. Christy Mary Oskell. William D. O'Shaughnessy. Sierra Elizabeth Osage. Kendall Kading Paco. Julia Isabel Pagano. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is her mother, Elizabeth M. Pagano, class of 2006, and her father, Tulia Pagano, a member of the Dickinson College faculty. Robert Francis Page. Jeremy Roman Palkin. Vincent Anthony Palladino. Pappas? Okay. Dara Elizabeth Pappas. Gerong Park. Thomas Jurgen Parkinson. Madison Anna Parks. Joelle Leiter Paul. Claire Elizabeth Paulson. Linnea Elaine Pearson. Christopher Adams Pease. Catherine Macy Perlmutter. Carrie Ann Elizabeth Flegger. Kan Trong Pham. Andrew Chase Phillips. Jacob Lawrence Phillips. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is his sister, Sarah Phillips, class of 2015. Robert James Picca. Brianna Janae Pierce. Avery Jane Petrus. Isaac Samuel Pitko. Catherine Douglas Pollock. Natalie Hart Pope. Olivia Catherine Poulin. Brian Matthew Prejean. Mark A. Primolo. Cassidy Adrienne Pryor. Lee Ann Python. Ikram Rabbani. Owen Glendon Rappaport. Amanda Marie Radachek. Rebecca Elizabeth Rawl. Rachel Lynn Rechtenwald. Brian Douglas Reed. Joshua Noble Ryder. Gregory J. Reese. Slade Dylan Reisner. Nicholas Arakel Rajebyan. Alexander L. Rhodes. Anna Sean Richard. Tyler Richie Yowell. Lucille Ruth Richmond. Cody Thomas Reimenschneider. Joseph Riley. Savannah Rain Riley. Clement Michael Rinaldi. Henry George Rinkovich. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is his sister, Emily Rinkovich, class of 2014. Cole Douglas Reinhardt. Eric Lee Rivera. Paulanne T. Robb. Erica Marie Roberts. Helen Sophia Roberts. Emily Beatrice Robertson. Anna Dempsey Robinette. Megan Whalen Robitaille. Jonathan Amory Rodiger. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is his father, William K. Rodiger, class of 1984. Courtney Celeste Rogers. Jacqueline Jane Rogers. Sienna Elise Roth. Sophia Heisha Brooks Rothman. Randy Ryan Rubright. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is his uncle, Harry A. Rubright, class of 1976, and his aunt, Susan Rubright Donovan, class of 1970. Cameron Charles William Rule. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is his father, Charles Rule, Dickinson ROTC, class of 1979. Carol Ann Reiner. Nalani Noel Ukei Saito. Eric Joseph Samuels. Rebecca Sophia Samuels. George Paul Sanko. Amanda Grace Santilli. Santorini. Kyle William Santorin. Carly Gabrielle Sarch. Helen Claire Schlimm. Sarah Louise Schneid. Ryan Douglas Schutte. Carolina Marie Isguera. Nicola Aaron Shackman-Ryden. Daniel Austin Shepard. Kevin Francis Sherry. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is his aunt, Vivian Puckett Vogt, class of 1984. Brendan Francis Shiel. Angel Shiwakoti. Jacqueline Anna Beller Shore. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is her mother, Joy Beller Shore, class of 1985. Madison Taylor Siebold. Alexis Silver. Henry Maxwell Singer. Melanie Claire Singer. Kevin Skoronsky. Justin William Smalley. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is his cousin, Ryan Bruce Van Fleet, class of 2016. Jennifer Ann Smith. Wesley James Smith. Kitson May Smythe. Thomas Rudolph Sokol. Kristen Marie Soltis. Alexandra May Staliano. Abigail Louise Dacier. Rita Doreen Stern. Cameron Mackenzie Stewart. Alexandra Nicolette Stiebel. Ronald Eugene Stein, Jr. Forrest Elizabeth Stone. Matthew John Stanofsky. Brander S. Suero Portes. Caroline Jean Marie Sullivan. Peishin Soon. Brendan Tyler Sutton. Khadija Imani Sutton. Cora Morton Swanson. Henry Thomas Swanson. Landon William Tafflinger. Lisa Roberta Teitelbaum. Jacqueline Samantha Blinder Teller. Polly Warner Terzian. Austin Albert Thames. Monica Ann Tapa. Brian Joseph Thomas. Hannah Elizabeth Thompson. Noah Sterling Thompson. Troy Edward Thornton. Sarah Elizabeth Tillett. Alexia Victoria Tobash. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is her uncle, John E. Jones III, class of 1977, and a member of the Dickinson College Board of Trustees, and her cousin, John E. Jones IV, class of 2011. Gabriella May Tomasini. Nicole Taylor Torlancassi. Lee Catherine Tracy. Oscar William Samuel Travers. Tung Xuan Trin. Isabel Simone Troutman. Hannah O'Malley Trustee. Ashlyn Dorothy Tully. Grace Catherine Toscano. Genevieve Elise Verez. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is her sister, Tatiana L. Verez, class of 2016. John Fazer Vetromil. Thomas Anthony Vitali. Eric Thomas Vogt. Emily Louise Vuris. Sam Hayden Vos. Brendan Francis Wagner. Sophie Elizabeth Wayne. Max Robert Walkinshaw. Kelsey Blair Walsh. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is her sister, Dana L. Walsh, class of 2013. Kirsten Brenna Walsh. Madison Lee Wanamaker. Jiacheng Wang. James David Ward. Eleanor May Weaver. Shang Wei. Mariah Claire Wiegert. Valerie Joan Weiner. Sophie Karis Weinstein. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is her sister, Emma L. Weinstein, class of 2014. Sarah Ann Welch. Kendra Hartley Weller. Megan Patricia Welsh. Matthew George Wenz. Prudence Olivia Whalen. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is her brother, Reeves D. Whalen, class of 2002. Madeline Kristen Wheeler. Emily C. Whitaker. Samuel Dean Wicker. Matthew James Williams. Delaney Elizabeth Wilson. Matthew Fujita Wise. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is his father, Robert J. Wise, Jr., class of 1981. Courtney Eve Wojcik. Jessica Lee Wolfman. Joanna McIntyre Wood. Jiaming Wu. Yunpeng Xia. Yuan Xiao Yua Yang. Jiewei Yao. Ravanyel Alvan Yauzi. Annika Sasha Yetsko. Sydney Caroline Young. Anya Mared Zaneski. Jennifer Mercedes Zapata. Aishi Chung. Aishi Zhang. Gianna Zhang. Ziji Zhang. Ziji Zhang. Zigui Zhou. Zigui Zhou. Kevin Zhu. Sui Zhu. Sarah Zimmer. Assisting in the awarding of the degree is her father, Ross R. Zimmer, class of 1985. Abigail Frances Zimmerman. Lindsay Samantha Zwaker.
I now invite senior members of the college choir to come forward and lead us in the singing of the alma mater. As they come forward, I would like to point out one other tradition of these commencement ceremonies. Some of you may have noticed students with various colored hats serving as ushers. All are the newest members of our 3 honorary societies. Just moments ago, several women with blue hats walked through the crowd in procession. These are rising senior members of Wheel and Chain, which was founded in 1924. Since 1981, this organization has had the honor of ringing the Denny bell to signify the conclusion of commencement ceremonies. After walking through the gathered crowd, they stand on line on the sidewalk leading from Old West diagonally to the corner nearest the Denny Bell Tower. At the conclusion of the alma mater, the women will throw their hats in succession, signaling the members in Denny Hall to ring the bell 1 time and then 7 times in honor of the class of 2017. Now let us join in singing the alma mater.